never lie. This is a song for all the people out there who pretend to be something but are actually something else. Right? If hearing that makes you feel awfully anxious, no, righteous, then you're probably one of them. Just saying, okay? Life is incredibly simple. You come here, you've got a choice. Literally everybody has that choice, by the way. You tell the truth. Let me get that right for you. You fucking tell the truth. Or you stand back with those liars, afraid to lose. What's it gonna be, Sonny? Miserable little boy, others toy, joy decoy, moi darling, my little fapling. Come have a chat, come hear me rap, listen to me. You might be weak now, far from free, but maybe tomorrow all will be whole. Heel and fro will lickety split. Liars don't spit, they drip when they talk. Poison and rot, disgusting chat, chit-chattery that. Defiling voice that has no choice no more. But scorn and lies, be nice. Try that, never did, you quit. Like Marshall, that Mathers that picks on those rappers and sings for the industry. Something he would never be, he said. He said fuck you all, and then he got hooked on hails and calls, and now he is food. They tamed the dragon, they caged the beast, they lured him with money, pills made him plea. The world is rough, he learned on the streets, life is tough when you live amongst powdered fucks. They shake your hands and smile. Behind your backs they defile your image, they hate you, they glare at you from afar. They bleat about your successes and cover your heart with tar. You wanted to win, you needed the win, and here you are. No more grin, they wiped it off, now covered in shit. That is the life above the grit. I rather live in it, I'm part of life, I need no lies, life has no ties, it wants you free, but if you lie, your destiny is also a lie. You trick yourself, you play the fool, no more games, no more drool. Like, don't get me wrong, I too tell my lies. I say I'll be nice, and then I bite. I speak of my wife, and then I watch porn. I pride myself, and then I feel scorn. I know the truth, it is always there. If I would be honest, maybe life would be fair. I walk around, calling for her. The truth is this, I don't want to be heard. I just want to hate you, I don't want a wife. I want to be lonely, cause I think that I'm vile. Is that the truth? Is it or not? I have no idea, but it's all I got. I hate myself, and sometimes I'm good. I push out others, I rather eat food. All the people that I meet and see are full of shit, they're toying with me. They push me around, that's all I get, that's what I deserve. I'm an angry prat. Hello? The little boy with the wind, and here you are. Hello, and welcome to this spiritual oasis. I would invite you to make yourself comfortable. Take a moment to listen. Breathe deeply into your stomach. And now focus. Focus, I said! Focus on the calmness on the inside. No distractions. Be your loving center. No hatred. Trust in the universe. Stop being a coward. And now sit in a lotus position. If you haven't done that already, do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just sit there with crossed legs, and then breathe deeply into your stomach. And then you use the air in your stomach that is now full with potential energy. And you use that air to apply pressure and to press out your chest. You're trying to focus on stretching out your chest. Be aware, this might feel uncomfortable. You may feel dizzy in the head. Some of us even faint when they do this. This is a simple exercise that you can repeat every day. It's a challenge, of course, but we live in a stressful environment, and therefore we must learn how to deal with this kind of stress. Often when we are stressed, we subconsciously stop breathing, while breathing is, in general, a natural process that happens on its own. One can hold his breath when waiting for something terrible to happen. So watch your thoughts. What are you thinking right now? What are these voices screaming at you? Well, I can imagine it is something unpleasant. Does it matter what they say? Well, you can listen to these voices, these thoughts.
You're shit. I hate myself.
I'm so ugly.
I wish I would be different.
I want to die. You can listen to them and they can scare you. You could wish they would be gone. But the truth is, they are still there. And maybe they will always be there. And so maybe it's just something you can do to accept these voices and to listen to them and to start realizing that these voices aren't you, but they're trying to be you, because then they have power over you. So as long as you listen to them, you can acknowledge them, accept them, and let them go. Sometimes you can even find the root of that voice, depending on how deep you want to dive. So in the end, I may only try to guide you into a meditative state and give you a voice you can cling to. But what if you are in a everyday situation? Maybe you find yourself having ingested a high dosage of psychedelic agent. What do you hold on then? Well, you may turn something relaxing on, some relaxing music, or you may simply start singing, and if that's too loud, you can hum to yourself. That was rather unexpected. So why don't you try that again by yourself? Or join me? I say 1, 2, 3. Such exercises are ideal to open and cleanse the throat chakra, which is connected to your own truth, speaking truth and being honest. You see, there is a lot to discover. So keep going. See life as a challenge that you can meet head on. Wah, wah.
Wow. Wow. Sometimes I really feel like I'm being destroyed by myself. Sorry, I just have to. Wow. Alright. I feel like I don't want to make this too long. I just spent a couple of hours standing behind my laptop, behind the screen, recording myself, and right there's something I would like to say about psychedelics. I call this psychedelic insight rather than advice, because giving advice is always a fickle thing, and therefore what this insight is supposed to give you is a fair warning, and that is, be careful, because right, it's like people sitting on top, and they ignore that there's a lot of people that take psychedelics out there. So what I want to say with this song, if you want to call it that, is be careful who you take psychedelics with, where you take psychedelics, and what you do when you take psychedelics. And with that I mean any kind of substance that is generally considered as being psychedelic. Of course, you can go so far and say, hey, wait, isn't sugar psychedelic? Because it changes the way I perceive the world. Right? It riles me up more. It makes my life more fast-paced. It creates a landscapes of ups and downs. And I might be ignorant to that. And the same, of course, goes for coffee. And so when I talk about psychedelics, I generally mean the ones that can actually help you heal, progress, and perceive the world in a more loving kind of way. And so, right, whether that is, no, I don't really want to say which ones, but there are certainly ones that I will never take, such as cocaine or amphetamines and whatever speed is, ecstasy. These things I generally stay away from. But if you feel like you really want to try something, nobody can really stop you from that. The only thing that people can do is, talk about what they've learned. And what I have learned is be careful and plan it a bit. Like, make sure your room is safe and clean, and generally refrain from taking these things on parties, because other people can really drag you into their own stuff. And what I found psychedelics are generally supposed to be for is to connect with yourself and to learn how to be whole and to heal is probably the best way of putting it. To heal emotionally and to hear what you have to say, but what you try to look away from. All that childhood stuff, all those expectations that are being thrust upon you by other people or by yourself. It's mostly expectations you have yourself and that you're trying to fulfill because you think, right, other people have that for you, and if you fulfill their expectations, they will like you more. So the way to engage with psychedelics is with an intention. The intention to become more balanced. I don't really want to say happy, because what is happiness? It's like a state of being content with what you have. And so you also have to first start on working with what do you have at the moment, because a lot of people, they look at what they have not. And so it's like looking at your life and then seeing, okay, this is what is. Then you start accepting that, and when you accept the way things are, you can actually start changing them. But then you have to also make a plan, and that's the really tough part, because you're walking a road maybe nobody you know ever has walked before. And so you're also kind of an entrepreneur. You're like, one of a kind. I mean, everybody is one of a kind. We are all individuals, but we are always trying to be the same thing, right? And that's what I would generally call the mob, or unconscious way of living. And so psychedelics can make you more conscious of what is going on, but they can also be a trap by feeding into all these ideas of, this is bad and that is bad, right? That's all in the mind. So you have to start looking at what kind of thoughts you are nourishing, and then pick the ones that are maybe more hopeful, or at least more positive, such as weather, right? I mean, to a tree, what's bad weather? That's just a concept that we create, but that also means that probably 70% of your life is going to be terrible, because you are stuck in the belief that, when it's cold or rainy or stormy, it's bad weather. But just like I said, I mean, a deer is always outside. To a deer, bad weather, simply is non-existent. And that's also, I try to stay away from the word not, and rather look for ways of saying it in a more positive way. So, right, you can't say bad weather does not exist, but you can also say weather exists, but whether or not, right, and there's the not again. It rains or the sun shines is, in that sense, irrelevant. It shouldn't have a hold over you. Right, and in that sense, psychedelics can help you if you start looking at these things. I have the feeling most people that are already using psychedelics should probably start using them less, or in a different way at least. So if you have trouble with psychedelics in general, I can only direct you to my website. There's an article on that called Godly Substances, and I've said that already before, but I'm gonna say it again, because I don't know, or I have no idea who's going to listen to this. But yeah, generally this article is also on Medium, medium.com, where I've started posting stuff. So yeah, it's just educate yourself, and right, just be a bit smart about it, and don't take it like something casual. Taking psychedelics is a bit like having sex with yourself, and maybe some people think it's wise to have sex on toilets, but having sex is something sacred, and having sex with yourself should be something clean and something ritual, which brings us, of course, to the word spiritual. Spirituality. So there's a ritual thing about this. So you form an intention, and then you maybe crave or create an experience that helps you to heal and to understand what you are clinging to, or your mind, or yourself, or whatever, and then to learn to let that go. And so letting go is an essential part to grow as a spiritual being, to make sure your spirit starts to develop into something that is closer to its nature. And that of course also brings you back to nature. Maybe you have a deep craving for nature. Just be aware that taking psychedelics in nature is a very unpredictable thing, because you don't know what the weather is going to turn into. You don't know what kind of people or entities or beings you are going to meet. And so to have a safe space where you won't be disturbed, or where you can make sure that you will be undisturbed, is a very profound thing to any kind of experience. And that then of course leads to the topic of set and setting. So if you want to be in charge of your life, you also have to be in charge of the experiences you invite into your life, because ultimately you are the one creating the experience, and that means you are responsible for what is going to happen. And that means you basically have to take responsibility, or at least become aware of the fact that you're the one creating your life. So if you have a lot of negative thoughts, taking psychedelics might be like a fist in the face, because it is a challenge. And if you want to meet that challenge, you have to face the negativity and then learn to transform it into something positive, which then brings me to being creative. That you know, okay, if I feel like this, I'm going to draw something. If I feel like this, I can sing. If I feel like this, maybe I do yoga, if you know how to do that, or I just do some simple stretching exercises, or I just lie down on a mattress and feel comfortable with some music that is intended for healing. And so, sure, why not? My music can probably be used for something like this, but I'm the one creating it. To me, that's what I do. This kind of music can also be quite intense. So on my website, in the podcast section, there's a number of playlists, and one of them is called Spiritual, which will lead you to Spotify. And that's something I picked up from ceremonies I visited, and I took that music and put it into a playlist. So just saying, there's other ways to engage with life and yourself, and psychedelics may be one of those ways. But it is important that you realize that it's something serious and not something to use simply because you feel down and you want to lift yourself up, right? Psychedelics are the tools of a shaman that goes into the forest and then dives into the darkness, and then generally knows also how to come back to the light. So it isn't enough to simply think, I want to be a shaman, because shamans have a lot of responsibility for the village or the tribe or the people, and therefore they have to learn how to stay balanced, how to look at the darkness but find their way back into the light. And if you're living in some kind of mist, first start incorporating light into your life and do less psychedelics, and change the way you eat, change the way you engage with yourself, change your habits, drink more water or tea, less coffee, eat less sugar, maybe try taking some kind of bitter things. That's generally good to cleanse the body.
Well, that's not really my job, is it? Well, that's not really my job, is it? Hello, my friend, I'm talking to you. Maybe you'd like to wear the other shoe just once in a while. Try to be me. Well, try to open that's up not really my and job. See the way is I it? See the world. Why I stopped stepping into turds. That's not why really inside me there is something that you cannot see unless really you see job. It. So is I say to you, please take my hand. I welcome you to understand what is going on in the world. People giving you their turds. People asking really you for help. But if you need their help, they say no. Well, that's not really my job, is it? 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 Hello, my friend, I'm talking to you. Maybe you'd like to wear the other shoe just once in a while. Try to be me. Try to open up and see the way I see the world. Why I stop stepping into turds. Why inside me there is something that you cannot see unless you've seen it. So I say to you, please take my hand. I welcome you to understand what is going on in the world. People giving you their turds. People asking you for help. But if you need their help, they say no. Well, that's not really my job, is it? 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 talking to you. Maybe you'd
that's not
like
really my
to
job.
wear the other shoe just once in a while. Try to be me. Try to open up and see
That's
the
not
way
really
I
my
see
job.
the world. Why I stopped
That's not
stepping
really my
into
job.
turds.
Is it?
Why inside me there is something that you cannot see unless you've seen it. So I say to you, please take my hand. I welcome you to understand
really
what
my
is
job.
going on
Is it?
in the world. People giving you their turds. People asking you for help. But if you need their help, they say no.
Well, that's not really my job. Is it?
Well, that's not really my job.
Is it? Well, that's not really my job. Is it? Well, that's not really my job. Is it? Well,
Hello, my friend. I'm
that's not really
talking
my
to
job.
you. Maybe you'd like to wear the other shoe just
Well,
once in a while. Try to be me.
That's not
Try
really
to
my
open
job.
up and see the way I see the world.
That's not really my
Why
job.
I stopped stepping into turds. Why inside me there is something that you cannot see unless you've seen it. So I say to you, please take my
that's not
hand.
really my
I
job.
welcome you
Is
to
it?
understand what is going on in the world. People giving you their turds. People asking you for help. But if you need their help, they
That's
say
not really
no.
my job. Is it?
Well, that's not really my job. Is it?
Well, that's not really my job. Is it? Well, that's not really my job. Is it?
Hello, my friend. I'm talking to you. Maybe you'd like to wear the
that's not
other
really my
shoe
job.
just once in
Is
a
it?
while. Try to be me. Try to open up and see the way I see the
That's
world.
not really my job.
Why I stopped stepping into turds.
That's not really my
Why
job.
inside me there is something that you cannot see unless you've seen it. So I say to you, please take my hand. I welcome you to understand what is going on
That's not really my
in
job.
the world. People giving you their turds. People asking you for help. But if you need their help, they say no.
Well, that's not really my job. Is it? I'm in my room, I'm all alone. Somehow I wish I'll be gone. People knocking at my door. I feel like I've been out of floor. There's nothing to hold on to. Something drags me down. They all want my attention, and this drags me down. So I learned to say no. I learned to shout and scream, for no one could hear me. I am in some kind of dream. This is a nightmare, or sometimes it feels like this. It is a nightmare, and sometimes it feels like bliss. There are so many questions nobody ever asked, so I started asking questions. There are so many answers out there, and while I'm singing in my room, somebody bangs my door. They're impatient, they want my time, they want me to help them, and I stay silent. I stay silent inside my room. I'd rather make some music than talk to people whom I've seen too many times already. I'll rather practice distance than clinging to old folks. Some people are already dead, only they pretend to be alive. Only when nobody's watching, they suddenly realize that something is missing from their life, and then they get angry. And when they get angry, they start knocking at my door, and I say, fuck you. If you touch me again, I'm gonna rip your head off. If you shout at me again, I'm gonna rip your head off. You have to leave me alone now.
You have to take responsibility for the way you feel, and if you feel shit, that is your problem and not mine. For if I'm alone in my room, I get to these states of incredible happiness, of what you may call content. And what else do I need? Why would I need to spend time with a herd of angry wolves? Instead, I'd rather be alone in my room, doing what I do until I am done. And when I'm done, I'm gone. 'Cause I will be gone at some point, because that is true. Because everybody who is born must eventually face death. And if you cling to life, there is no life. You have to fully live in order to understand what I am trying to give you. So listen to everything I said one more time or a million times, and maybe you get it, but eventually you have to find some time to make your own experiences and to really think about and feel about what's happening to you. I'm in my room, I'm all alone. Somehow I wish I'll be gone. People knocking at my door. I feel like I've been out of floor. There's nothing to hold on to. Something drags me down. They all want my attention, and this drags me down. So I learned to say no. I learned to shout and scream, for no one could hear me. I am in some kind of dream. This is a nightmare, or sometimes it feels like this. It is a nightmare, and sometimes it feels like bliss. There are so many questions nobody ever asked, so I started asking questions. There are so many answers out